With Ivan Fedotov, honestly, he was struggling a little bit early on before he's found his game. When you're running the defense and a goalie is struggling like that, do you change the way you play at all, or do you have to talk to them at all to make sure they don't change the way they play? Because sometimes some doubt can creep in amongst the team if the goalie's struggling, I guess, right?
Whether the goalie's playing great or not, I think guys go out there and focus on their own games, focus on executing what they can do to help the team. And I think if you start adding too many other things onto that plate, it gets a little full. I find that the simplest game plan is the best one. We ask our guys to make the first available play. That sort of playing fast type of game doesn't leave a lot of room for, some of that other, questioning of whether a guy's going to make a play. I think I've said it in this room before. I expect our guys best every time they go on the ice. And if a guy has an off night, he has an off night. And, hopefully we play well enough in front of a goalie that's maybe struggling that he doesn't get the shot barrage that maybe, tips the scales the wrong way. We're going out as individuals to play as best as we can. We're trying to coach as well as we can. And then as a collective whole, we're putting it together, and it's a victory.
Have they defended around him better too lately, or is it just you think they're just getting saves now?
Well, I thought he went in and played great on the road in two different places, and I thought really solidified his, how he's going to play the game. I thought he showed us, what his best game looks like, or close to his best game. Big goalie that moves well, reads the play well, plays decent with the puck. And so I do think when you have a goalie that looks like he's looked the last few games, you do get confidence. You do know that you can make the odd mistake, and it's not necessarily in the back of your net. So that does change your way, how you play confidence-wise. But, I still think there's a lot of room for growth. I know we haven't seen his best game. I know we've seen some good hockey from him. But that's just part of the growth. There's a learning curve, even for an older guy like himself. It's a tough league. It's unforgiving. It exposes every flaw and weakness you have. I don't care who you are. I don't care what team you are. You get exposed, and so that's sometimes a tough thing to go through. And he's come back. He had a couple tough outings, and I think he's had two or three games where he's kept us in. The save he makes in regulation at the end in Ottawa there, that toe save, it's extraordinary. I love the save in overtime as well, but the save in overtime, at least you're getting a point. That one with 17 seconds left, that would have been a dagger, would have been a real tough way to leave that building. And so I like how he stepped up. He's taken a challenge and met it head on.
What's it like for you to watch the growth of Travis Sanheim?
It's been, you sometimes come in and you watch a guy and there's not a lot of fluctuation in their game. I thought he was challenged by our head coach. Took it personal, I guess, is the best way to say it. And maybe that's came back with a purpose last year, added pounds, had a conviction to his game, had a way more follow me sort of attitude. I'll show you guys what's necessary on the ice. Came back again this year. Wasn't necessarily as great in training camp, I didn't think. And so in the first couple games, sort of didn't struggle, but certainly wasn't playing like he's playing now. That first period last night was about as good as you can play the position, I think. At both ends of the rink. That's if he would have left with a hat trick after that first period, nobody would have been surprised. The fact he only has one goal is probably the surprising fact on that period. He looks like he wants to take his game to the highest level possible, and that's great. We hope everybody's getting there, but how he's skating, how he's moving the puck, how he's controlling the game, fantastic. Great test tomorrow against a real good Colorado team with some of the highest end talent in the game. So a great test for him, and I can't wait to see it.
You almost have to like stop your hand from like tapping him on the shoulder to go out because he gets so much ice time that you don't want to like rely on him maybe too much.
Well, everybody has a tipping point where there's fatigue starts affecting their play. I'm trying not to get there. He is a hard guy not to put on the ice in every situation, and you saw him on the power play today in practice. I don't know if that carries over into the game tomorrow, but he's a guy that's transporting the puck. He's seeing the ice. He's making plays. He's playing with a level of confidence that's off the charts, and he plays physical. I mean, there's really nothing that he's not doing right now, and it's a big reason why we've had our run of success lately.
You mentioned about with Sanheim that the first year, that Torts challenged him, and he maybe took it personally. And obviously, that's a relationship Torts and Sanheim that you're not, you watch, but that's not your relationship. But as an assistant coach, especially as his position coach, how do you kind of get yourself involved to make sure that he's, because obviously it's now a productive relationship, but how did you involve yourself in that relationship to try to, work with him to get more out of him, even while they were maybe butting heads a bit?
Well, I think that's my job with every defenseman, every guy in the team, really. But I focus on the defense and I guess the penalty killers. But getting to know the guys, getting to know sort of how they operate, what they need when they're down and what they need when they're up. Some guys, it's a different mix for every guy. Sandy's a guy that loves minutes. He's got almost like the big diesel motor that once it gets going, it's going. He's kind of like I've had Seth Jones was similar, where you just never really showed fatigue. You'd go, well, okay, he's going to be tired after this shift, and you'd look down and the shoulders aren't up and down, and looks like he's ready to go. Those minute eaters are important guys that you can put out over and over and over again. And especially when they're playing as consistently as Sandy is now, because you really know what you expect. You're expecting good things, and they're happening out there. So, it's I from my point of view, I'm trying not to play him too much. At the same time, I recognize how important he is for us to win games. So, that's always a balancing act. If we can get healthy on the back end, then obviously that alleviates some of that pressure and we can spread some of those minutes around. But, I'm hoping that he sees a lot of Nathan McKinnon tomorrow and that line. And I can't wait to see the matchup because it's, a guy who's feeling great about his game right now and looking to get into that sort of superstar echelon. And Nathan McKinnon's well established, that he's one of the best players in the game. So, one of the matchups I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
How much do you think, just following up on Sanheim for a second, obviously that first year, you talked about it, it was definitely some growing pains there, but how much do you think the fact that summer he almost got traded, how much do you think that fueled this?
I don't know. I don't try and speculate on what motivates guys. It's why I talk to them, actually, to sort of get rid of those gray areas. But I don't know. It might have had a lot of effect. It might have had none at all. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Richard today acknowledged that he's had some near misses in the NHL, but he always goes into the next challenge with positive attitude, and he brought that here. Do you get a sense that the team, when he makes a great play, that the bench just energizes itself? I mean, do you get that sense here? They want him to succeed?
Well, he's a good guy. He works hard. He plays an honest game. He offers speed to our lineup, that is something, we'd like to add more, and he offers that. And he had a good camp. He showed that he has offense and can play at an NHL level at that pace. And, he looked like a guy that was certainly a viable guy that could come up and play some minutes. And for him to come in and offer the offense he has been great. A lot of times you're calling up guys that you're slotting in on the third and fourth line and hope they can maybe offer a checking role or something. But he's come in and been a big part of some big goals for us already. And that's great. And hopefully he can continue down that same path.
So
Mola looks like he's playing a little more pressure-free, not maybe overthinking as much. He kind of talked about that today. Do you sense a guy that's just going out there playing and he's starting to see some results?
Yeah, he's got a real ability to offer poise on the puck. You know, when most guys would offload it, he holds on to it for another split second or whatever it is, and then things really open up. And I just think that when he plays with that in his game, he's a hard guy to predict. You know, if you don't play honest and play through him and you try and guess where he's going, he's got great deception. And so really hard for the forechecker, you know, when they play that way. And I think he's another guy that's been involved in some big offensive plays. He gets up in the rush in Ottawa on that 1-3-on-2. We put it in the net, and all of a sudden it's 4-3, and there's a huge amount of belief again on the bench. You know, those are key moments. And when these guys that are, you know, maybe not your marquee guys are stepping up in these scenarios, it's awesome. We want to have more depth. We want to be a more well-rounded team and be a more dangerous top-to-bottom team. And when he can play like that, that's great. That offers that.
Is Emile Andre an option for tomorrow, or anything?
I'm not sure. I don't know anything about any injuries.
Brad, I'm just curious. I've noticed the coaching staff has been wearing the military hoodies now for 3 straight games. Whose decision is it to keep wearing them, and are you a superstitious person?
I have a few superstitions. It's Torts' idea, and he's got a lot of compliments from other coaches and other people in the game around the league. And he's obviously superstitious because we're sticking with him. So, no, it's, you know, those military nights are special nights. You know, what we're doing out there on the ice kind of pales in comparison to what these people are doing for the nation and their families and everything else. So, you know, I think wearing them is a great tribute to every person that's ever served and the people that are serving. And you know, the fact that we're winning with them is great, and they're really comfortable and warm. So, I mean, who wouldn't love a hoodie on the bench? So I'm not going to say no.
Is it because you guys have been winning that you keep wearing them?
I believe so. You'd have to ask the main guy there, but
He sets the dress code?
yes, indeed he does.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, thanks.